Okay, can we hear me?
Yes, I'm excited, Maria. How are you?
Very good, Asha. I am so excited. First of all, I want to apologize with Murphy's Law. Every time you want to do something, the network is down on my side. I am coming to you live, but that's okay because this is about your day and our about your new book. So with that, if you would let me kind of kick this off, Asha, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. So first of all, thank you and welcome to everybody that is on the call today. My name is Maria Villar. I am head of enterprise data strategy and transformation at SAP. I am also a member of the Women in Data and AI group, of which Asha is our fearless leader. And I have the pleasure this afternoon to interview Asha because Asha has written a new book, The AI Factor, which you all see here. It's going to be launched tomorrow. I had the privilege of being able to get an early copy and have read it. And I think you'll find that it's very insightful, it's practical, it's informational, and it answers many of the questions that I didn't have. I learned a lot. So I'm also a fellow writer and author. I wrote my first book about 15 years ago. It was innovative at the time. It was all about how to manage data, but from a business perspective. And that's one of the things I really liked about your book, Asha, was that it had a lot of business components. So while the AI side is can get very, very technical, you brought the business focus to it and made it very practical for business people and technical people to read. So kudos to you. So I've been working with Asha now for the last probably 2 or 3 years as part of the Wilder Network. And many of you on the call probably know Asha through her work as a very inspirational and accomplished leader of our group. But before Wilda, there was an extremely vast career in AI, and I want you to share that with the members here on LinkedIn who don't know you maybe.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Maria. I really grateful that I'm actually having the conversation about my book with you for the very first time. So thank you for having this conversation with me. I'm Asha Saxena. I'm the founder and CEO of Wilda, Women Leaders in Data and AI, and such a proud organization. I'm so proud of the women leaders in data and AI in the organizations who are really creating the charter for younger women, creating the being the role model for the younger women, and really continuing to march ahead. We are in such a great place right now where we can actually make an impact. And as we take this journey of the AI, and my journey really started about 30 years back. My undergrad and grad is in computer science. So I became a programmer and really started my career from there, built 3 companies. I built a data management consulting firm, an e-commerce company, and a healthcare software company. And now I teach at Columbia University, where I teach entrepreneurship and strategy and consulting. And I'm full-time working on taking this mission of women leaders in data and AI and marching ahead to see if we as women leaders can have a seat on the table and create an impact with parity and equity in the digital world. So just a wonderful journey I'm on. And during the pandemic, I think that this was where an aha moment came, where can I actually take what I learned in my career and put it on paper? And I think that's when the whole journey of this book started, was to take my experience. And, I've been working with C-level executives and CEOs and helping them build their organization. How can they take their journey and demystify AI to make sure they can make it executable? And so that's really what my journey was, from what I've done to where I am today.
I don't know how you find the time, Asha. You have such high energy that having written a book, I know that it is both a monumental task and it's also a labor of love. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Very successful.
I feel, Maria, that we all have a book in us. I think if you've spent 20 years in the industry or more, I think we all have such amazing experiences. And I think you wrote a book too. And I think it's such a great payback that we can pass to the next generation is our experiences, our learning, and how can we actually make it simple for people to understand. And especially this topic of big data and AI, I think is so huge. People really think about it and feel they can't touch and feel it. Yeah. Really, I think this topic, how can you simplify it for the business community and the technology leader that they come together to actually start implementing and building use cases?
Yeah, and really, and I wanted to ask you this question in particular about AI, because you're right, a lot is being written about AI at this point, and even in articles and other books. And so what is your unique perspective, Asha, that you bring to the book?
You know, first of all, before I talk about my perspective, I want to talk about what a great time, right, to talk about this book. I mean, ChatGPT came out November, and the Microsoft and Google's conversation coming up, and everyone really talking about what AI can do. Just a great time to really have this book out and have real conversation. And I think that's what I was trying to do in this book, is not make it too big and complex. Take baby steps to implement and start working with the data you got, or understand what data do you need to start building machine learning models. Start taking a baby step towards building artificial intelligence in your own organization. And so that's really the intention behind this book.
Yes. So let's talk about some of those misconceptions. You write about it in the book, and I do believe that that is true. There's quite a bit of fear now about AI and what the future of AI holds. And so those are some myths that you debunk in your book. So let's talk about that for a bit.
So, I tell stories in the book, companies who've really done it, companies who've really taken data like Netflix, who understood their consumer, or the Domino's Pizza, who changed their model to really understand their customers and actually be able to predict what their customers want. I mean, what a great story with Netflix on creating original content, and you and I grew up in this world. It's not that we didn't have data before or we didn't do reporting before, but it's really how you take that to the next level of really looking at, can you elevate your information, what your data is providing, to the next level. And so the first part of the book, I talk about stories. I tell stories about organizations who've used data effectively. And the second part of the book, I talk about how can you take that information and actually start the journey. And I talk about the 4 steps in the journey. And the real important piece of the journey, I think, starts with the understanding where you are. I say that assess where you are, knowing what your current environment looks like. And I start with the power quadrant. I talk about knowing which power quadrant you are in. Are you an optimizer, where you're trying to cut costs or increase efficiencies, or are you an innovator? You're trying to create products or invest in research and development, or you're an extender. You want to listen, whichever quadrant you are in, it's okay. If you're a small organization, medium size or large, you could be in a quadrant where you say, I just want to grab market share right now. How do I do that? So understand what quadrant do you fall in: optimizer, innovator, extender, or multiplier. And multiplier, I talk about organization who can actually change the game. And so in the book, I talk about understanding where you are, which is assessing. And the second is data readiness. Do you have the data? What data do you need? What quality of data? Can you trust the data? I love when people talk about ChatGPT and talk about that it's not accurate and it's having error. We're working with technology, and we are working with technology where we can actually, it's the data you feed in. Machine learning is really, what is AI? Artificial intelligence is when machines start acting like human behavior. They have the intelligence of a human behavior. And so you feed the data to the machine learns from the data that it has received and gives you the recommendation. If you feed the data with biases, you feed the machine with the data which is not accurate, you're going to have trouble. The accuracy is going to be low. So really thinking about, do you have the data ready? And so that's what I talk about in the book, is start with your business assessment, then go to your data readiness and really make sure that your data is ready, secure, quality, governance. And then I talk about priority. Do you have the right priorities? And I also talk about, there's a great equation which I talk about in the book, which is called the data performance index. The data can only perform as good as you have the data value and the business value indicators. So if you understand, if your data is providing the value, your business value is clear, only then your data performance index is going to be solid. So
I really like that, by the way. I thought that added a real element of practicality to the book, that you could really put together your own roadmap based on the advice that you have given.
Exactly. And so what I tried doing is giving simple frameworks and methodologies and simple step processes for you to start executing and start measuring. Because if you don't measure, you're not going to get the result. And so the whole piece of the measurement is about really building your flywheel. Can you build your AI flywheel to be able to make sure that you get better accuracy, you feed in the data, and you can create the cycle to start implementing, and really you take the use cases and start implementing, getting the results.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, one of the things that I really liked about the book was, again, that practical perspective. And I relate very much to it because really in the world of having an effective data strategy, it is about many of the same steps apply. Know your business, know the business process you want to solve. We can solve a lot of cool problems with AI, but you really are bringing it back home to say, if solve those problems your company really needs you to solve. And then the other aspect that was very, I think, helpful for me personally was know your data and know what data you have. Because, yeah, you can solve a lot of problems, but if you don't have the data that you need, again, you're not going to start off with the right mindset for the company. Because you're also trying to help the company come along, and you want your AI projects to be successful. Exactly. And I think so having that data readiness, there's that data value index, all those key metrics to help you make the right choice so that you can be successful.
I agree. And I remember growing up in technology, we built, the biggest challenge was you build the technology, it gets shelved. It's not getting used effectively. In AI, you could start using effectively because it's giving you output. It's giving you prediction. You can start working with, and somebody said to me, it's like, are you scared of AI? And I always say that we are at the place where it's human assisted. Human need to engage with AI to create a better outcome. And that's really what AI is all about, right? Even in ChatGPT, when it gives you the result, they're not 100% accurate. It gives you copy content. You still have to edit it. So no matter what you do with the AI, right now we are at the level where the humans have to engage with AI. And can you imagine the world where all the new skills are going to be developed from this? Our education system, our healthcare, our transportation, everything is going to be getting affected by AI. Imagine
we all have to learn how to use it and how to use it effectively.
Exactly. And it's changing how you hire people. Now the question is, everybody needs to get used to learning how to engage with data, engage with AI to perform better in your job. Everything from marketing, sales, supply chain, order optimization, everything is going to be now connected to data or AI. So even the people who are stepping into the career have to be data savvy. If you're a data savvy professional, you will have a higher success rate in your profession.
Exactly. So I have two questions for you, because I think you and I can talk about this subject for 2 hours, right?
Exactly.
So the first one is, look, a lot of big companies are starting down on their AI journey, but it's also not just for large companies. about small and medium businesses and how they can get started with AI solutions?
I feel like smaller and mid-sized companies have an advantage because they are agile. They can actually start implementing things and they don't have to go through a lot of change management. So what a great time for small companies or mid-sized companies to really jump into the pond and start working with the data they have. Start looking at what data they have and what should they be collecting. Be more conscious about what data they need to be collecting if they don't have enough data, and start looking at how they can actually maybe take small models. Now there are tons of AI companies. You don't even have to build your models. You can actually use the AI that's available, have a subscription model, and start using your AI in marketing, in sales, and as I said, logistics, deliveries. If you're a B2B or B2C organization, you can actually jump pretty quickly as long as you have the staff who can engage with the data. And so it comes down to people, process, and technology. So do you have the right people and do you have the right process to be able to engage with the technology, engage with the data to start creating the output? The book defines you. I think the book inspires you in the first part to make sure that you get into the mode of accepting and understanding that it's not scary. As a small business, as a large business or mid-sized business, I can jump into this field of learning about data and using data to really create growth within my organization. And then the second piece is really, even though the 4-step process I talk about, it comes from my experience from working with Fortune 1000 companies, but you can use the same 4-step process for a small organization and start getting ready, build a strong foundation so you can actually start building the models on working with AI. Taking the baby step is important. Starting somewhere is important instead of not starting at all or getting scared and getting left behind.
Yeah, and you also mentioned using partners, right? Especially if you don't have the skills in the organization, right? That could jumpstart you on these projects when you don't have a big staff.
Exactly. If you don't have the skills internally, we live in the world where we are shared economy. It's you go out and you don't want to go buy your food, you call Uber Eats or DoorDash to get food, right? So you outsource. If you don't want something which you're not good at, focus on what you're really good at. You can hire a consultant, you can hire an advisor, you can hire a partner with somebody, you can get a software on a subscription base. But it is so much easier now than ever before, where you don't have to write your own code, or you don't have to build your own algorithms. You can go out, work with an expert for a fractional price to be able to get you started. But you want to have the right people who help you get started.
Yes. Now you've mentioned this a couple of times. Let's expand on that. You mentioned the skills that are necessary, both the soft skills and the technical skills, in order to really be effective here. So talk a little bit more about that.
So when I talk about technical skills, of course, the technical skills are the hard skills. And the soft skills are to be able to understand the data. When people say, can I be in a data field? I always say that, listen, in a data field, you don't just have to be a mathematician or work with stats. You could be somebody who understands data visualization. You understand the business to be able to translate the data you're looking at to actual actions. You can be somebody who can just mine the data or clean the data or integrate the data. There are so many levels within the world of data and AI that there's a lot more room for you to get engaged. I say that start with just taking simple courses at Udemy or Coursera and just really start investing in learning about how to analyze data. How do you work with data? Because data can actually tell you, are you going in the right direction or not? When you start preparing for a marathon, you start writing down, your training has metrics. You start learning about what behaviors would work. When you're building a business, you want to start working with the data that's provided to you to see, am I going in the right direction? Can I launch this product, but really be able to do A/B testing? Make sure that you are looking at the data and start predicting and prescribing. It is going to remove so much of manual work or guesswork when you start working with the data and AI to be able to create successful businesses or successful products or capture market share.
Yeah. And what you said is also really relevant, that in the future, all jobs will have some amount of AI. All processes,
All
digital processes will have AI built in. So becoming savvy in this technology and in data and how to use data, how to make decisions, how to question the data so that you don't make false assumptions. I mean, all of that is helpful for everyone, and it will set you apart, as you said in your, in your book. Now I'm gonna finish off with one question, and we've talked a little bit about ChatGPT and Bard both today before, but I think it's relevant. It's kind of what we see here, the popularity of ChatGPT and how much it's grown and what it's done for OpenAI has been phenomenal, both on the positive side. And yet you have the Google experience with Bard, and they've just coming out, and yet they had some issues and lost an incredible amount of market value. So it tells us that you also have to get it right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but enough of it has to be right from a company perspective. So what was your observations about both ChatGPT and the recent announcement with Bard, and what it taught us about using AI?
So two immediate things that I learned from that. The first is that you have to understand when you're working with AI, it's about accuracy, right? So we are trying to up our accuracy, but we don't get that right the first time or the second time or the third time. Understanding if you don't have the right data quality, data governance, data readiness, all the steps I talk about are critical. So really important that you have the right amount of data, diverse data, clean data to run your models on, but also you need to be able to run those models multiple times to get to a place where it is usable or accurate. Second thing is, be clear about what they say the strength in a leader is when you can communicate clearly. When Microsoft came out, Nadella said, ChatGPT is going to make mistakes. It's about you to work with it. I think what the mistake that happened with Google Bard was that they did not expect that error to come during the big presentation. So I think as a leader, if you had opened the argument saying there would be errors, and if you clearly define the expectation to the audience, people will be less surprised. Yeah. AI is not perfect right now. You cannot say that I'm going to use a ChatGPT and tell me how to save lives. It won't save lives for you. But what it can do is it can give you a draft email you should write, and then you need to spend time to clean it up. So we are not at a place where we are actually, saving lives, but with AI, what we are doing is AI is helping us save time, giving a rough draft of email to be able to clean that up. And I think that's what happened with Google Bard, is that they did not expect that to happen. And I think the audience was super surprised when that error happened. And absolutely. I think that's the difference, is setting expectation clearly. So as a leader, if you're working with data, you want to make sure your expectations are clearly defined. There is going to be a room for error right now when you're working with these technologies. Are you working on life-saving technology? Then maybe this is not the best use right away. Then you really have to test your data to get the accuracy higher. But if you're working with writing content where you can clean it up, or some prediction which you can clean it up, but a human has to be engaged with the AI to get the right results.
Absolutely. Well, look, we are at the half an hour, and as I said, we could talk about this for a very long time, but I do want to encourage everybody to go and read the book. Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you, Asha, as we conclude today?
The only thing I would say is that if you are interested in the book is out in Amazon right now, so feel free to get the book on Amazon. Listen, I would ask is if you get the book, take a picture of your book, take the picture, post it on LinkedIn and tag me, and I'll be able to comment on it. And if you have any questions about the book, please send the questions on LinkedIn as well for me. And if you like the book, definitely give a review on Amazon and send a note to me on LinkedIn. I hope you enjoy it. I shared my learnings from my career in the book. I hope you enjoy. I hope you take something out of the book, and I hope you apply it. I think as an author, Maria, you know, when we write books, what we are looking for is someone to be able to get something out of that book to be able to go and apply and implement in their own life. And that's my hope. Thank you so much, Maria, for spending 30 minutes with me. And I hope the audience, LinkedIn audience, got something out of it.
It was my pleasure and great fun, my friend. Congratulations and kudos on your book.
Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.